Welcome to the In My 30s podcast. My name is Emma White, and today we have a very special guest, a country artist in Nashville, Sheyna G, and her birthday is tomorrow. Amazing. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How cool. So you're one of our first guests that's been celebrating a birthday at least in the same week and also in their 30s, because a lot of people are not in their 30s.
Okay.
But maybe you're like the most on-brand guest I've had.
In my 30s. Yes.
So you have a birthday tomorrow. Do you have any like big plans?
Since most of my girlfriends in Nashville also have like alternative schedules,
Yeah.
we went out on Tuesday and kind of did a little Cinco de Mayo and birthday
Oh,
celebration. And
very
then
fun.
One of my other girlfriends that's in a band, her and I are going to go see a comedy show on my actual birthday
How
tomorrow.
much fun.
So, yeah.
What show?
I forgot the guy's name, but it's just
Okay.
show
This won't be
Zanies.
out yet, so no one's going to stalk you.
It'll
But
be show Zanies. And
Fun.
so I haven't been, and I used to go to comedy shows when I lived in California, like all the time. They had like a little guest list of like, if we don't sell all the tickets, we just invite people. And
Yeah.
like, so I would go like almost weekly. And so I've lived in Nashville for 10 years and I haven't been to Zanies yet.
oh my gosh, I used to live right over there, and my friend would do stand up, so I went over there a bunch. Wait, so your birthday is tomorrow. You're releasing a new EP?
Just a song.
Just a song.
Just a
Okay.
song,
You have a
yeah.
new
I
song
just
coming out. Okay.
released, my first EP in 8 years.
Wow.
In March. So that was my only full project I'm doing this year, but I'm going to be releasing songs pretty much every month the rest of the year.
Amazing. Wow. Okay. So you've been in Nashville 10 years. So we're obviously just getting to know each other. So why don't you walk me through like how you got into country, how you got to Nashville? What's your like musical beginnings? Where did they start?
I started playing guitar when I was 5. When my parents got divorced, my mom didn't want me and my siblings to just like mope around.
Mhm.
And so she tried to get me into sports. I played one softball game. I hit the ball and went and ran and got it.
Mhm.
And she was like, okay, sports are not for you. And my brother's 7 years older than me and was already in a band. So
Okay.
he had a guitar laying around the house. He's a drummer, but he always had band practice. So there was a guitar laying around the house, and that was about as big as I was.
Yeah.
And my mom found a guitar teacher crazy enough to give a 5-year-old guitar lessons. And that's kind of the only thing I've ever known is music. And
oh my
so
gosh.
I did my time in LA playing around the scene, played my first show when I was 6.
And you're born and raised in LA.
yes.
You are a unicorn.
Yeah.
That's what people say. But so
Yes.
like, was that crazy growing up there?
I didn't think it was. To me, there's no other thing. But when I moved to Nashville and met a bunch of people that were raised in the South and the Midwest and whatever,
Yeah.
our stories of growing up, especially being a teenager,
Yeah.
are very, very different.
I
My
bet.
teenage life was kind of like that movie X with all the big parties and stuff like that. And I grew up kind of in the same circle as like the Laguna Beach people and like that kind of stuff. And so I
Wow.
went to a lot of parties with a lot of celebrities and a lot of whatever, but that was just normal for me. And I didn't
Mhm.
realize until I moved out here that wasn't necessarily a normal upbringing, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way. It was kind of my story. And
That's
you know,
crazy.
just
The daylight just shifted like crazy in here. That is wild. Like I feel like where I was growing up, I would have died to like go to a party with a celebrity when I was younger. That would have been insane to me.
it was just normal.
it was
when
normal.
I've smoked weed since I was like 13.
Okay.
And I went to a party when I was 18 or 19 that Snoop Dogg was there, and he walks over and just like passes the blunt around like our group and like whatever. And it's just like, that was just, it wasn't like a starstruck thing. It was just, those are people.
That's just what it
And,
was.
like,
Yeah.
It's just like kind of a, and since I played music, I've just always was around that kind of stuff. And so it was definitely cool. But
Yeah.
I didn't look at it as weird back
Because
then.
it's all you knew. So
Yeah.
of course it's not going to be weird. Yeah. Okay. So you're playing guitar since you're 5. Then you start playing out.
Yeah, I had my first show when I was 6, like I said.
That's
from the
crazy.
music shop that like I grew up in, and
Oh, okay.
at like 8 or 9, or 8, I had my first like outside the music shop band, and we were called Spoiled, and we were a 3-piece girl band.
Oh my gosh.
That was we were like 8, 9, and 11, and like we were all multi-instrumentalists at that point, and we would like switch instruments on certain songs and like whatever, but we mostly like busked down in San Diego, which sounds so crazy that you would drop 3 little girls off and like one of the girls' dads lived in San Diego, and he would drop us off in Hillcrest, and we'd busk all day, and he'd go to work, and then he'd come back and get us at the end of the day. We'd make money, so we'd go to like the restaurants around there and get like lunch and like whatever. But
Oh my
like I
gosh.
said, it's just stuff that like sounds so insane now. You would never drop your kids off by themselves. They would end up abducted.
Yeah.
But we just like did it and whatever. And that band lasted for about 3 years before then in junior high having like guitar club and people I jam with, and in high school had high school bands and always played kind of rock music, rock singer songwriter, whatever. And then after high school just kind of gravitated towards country music, and I tried to deny it as much as possible that like this isn't country. And
I was the same way.
Yeah,
I like rejected it.
yeah, I was like, it's not country. And then so many people started calling me country. I'm like, well, I guess I got to listen to country now. And did a deep dive of country when I was in my late teens, and kind of accepted that like just because Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean are what was on the radio doesn't mean that's all of country.
Yeah.
And
there's such a variety.
yes, and accepted that I was a country singer, and started coming to Nashville in my late teens, like after high school, and would come out here a few times a year for writing stuff. And finally in my mid-20s, you know, I was broke and didn't think I could do it. And my brother gave me $1,000 loan, and I had $300 to my name. And it was enough because my rent was only $400 when I moved here. It was enough to get started move down here, start getting gigs on Broadway. And I paid my brother back in about a year, and have never looked back.
How cool. I can't believe we're just meeting now.
Yeah.
You've been here 10 years.
You know?
Yeah.
Now we're friends though. So now I go hang out at Red Door.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been there in ages, but it was like when I first got to town, I was at Red Door all the time.
Oh, that's tale as old as time, baby, right?
Yeah.
That's
but then like I always say, after COVID happened and everything changed. And I stopped doing things, stopped going places. Like I was such a social butterfly, and it has been really hard for me to get back to that. I don't know. I guess it's just everything changed. And okay, so that's a really interesting backstory. I was not busking at 8 years old. I was like singing the national anthem places, but not busking. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, same thing with country. It was like, for me, I was like, no, I do R&B music. Like I don't do country. And they're like, this sounds pretty country.
Sounds pretty good, yeah.
So that's so cool. So it kind of, because I always say like the country dream grew on me, but I was following the signs. So that's really
Same. Sometimes you just gotta let life take you where it wants to take you. And like I've truly fell in love with it. And I grew up riding horses and living the life.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and I've had a lot of hard things happen in my life from a very early age. And I've always persevered through music and told my story through writing songs, even though like obviously the songs I was writing when I was a little girl were not the same as what they are now.
Yeah.
But I've always put my emotion into that, and that's always kept me sane.
Yeah.
And that's what country music is talking about the life.
Yeah. So, okay. So I saw you have incredible like streaming numbers and socials and all that. So your biggest song you said was Ghost.
Yes.
So if you guys are not familiar with her song Ghost, go check that out, because that's probably what people know you most by. Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everything else has kind of grown after.
Yeah.
Because that song allowed me to acquire a bit of a following.
Yeah.
I always say it's nothing to write home about, but it feels good to have somebody tell you that. But,
yeah,
you know, if you're always on the inside, just like, I need more, you know, whatever. But yeah, Ghost, I wrote that song. I started writing that song in 2015 when I still lived in California. And in 2019, when I was going into the studio, I was going through my voice notes and like, are these the songs I really want to pick? And that song, I had only written the verse, well, you got the touch of no, I had only written the chorus. The time passes slow and there's nothing to say. And it was at the time, that damn 101 has been backed up for days and, you know, whatever. And that whole chorus was in there. And I was like, it was 3 days before we went in the studio. And I felt like I was in the exact same place that I was when I wrote that, because that was written about a 7-year relationship I was in that I knew was over because we were on the 101 freeway for 3 hours and didn't say a single word to each other.
Oh, wow.
And I was in a relationship where and that was a 7-year relationship. I left when I moved here, and I was in a 4-year relationship already living in Nashville, and it felt like it ran its course and I wasn't leaving. And so it was so easy. I finished that song in 5 minutes. I texted the voice note to the engineer who happened to be the boyfriend at the time.
No.
And he was like, this song is so good. Yeah, we absolutely have to cut this in this, whatever. And after we recorded the song, I ended up breaking up with him like a month later because I knew when I wrote
So the whole
that.
time you knew it was about him. Obviously,
Well,
you wrote
was
it.
a mix between the two
Oh,
relationships,
okay.
but they were in the same place. And
Yeah.
he didn't know the song was about him. But it was, I went in the studio just knowing like this is it.
Everyone I date thinks every song's about them.
They are.
And I'm like, and then they like use the songs against you. And they're like, you know how you have that song? And I'm like, I'm not even Taylor Swift. And you're saying this to me. Like, it is funny.
Sometimes it does reveal itself to be that way, even if you don't mean it that way, though. Because like I wrote a song called Tears in Texas about 2 months ago now, right before my now ex, we broke up about 6 weeks ago, left me in Texas. And the story is almost exactly the same as the song that I wrote. And I was like, I called my sister when it clicked in my brain. And I was like, did I manifest this? She's like, no, I think you just have foresight. And like, you don't listen to your foresight. And I'm like, maybe that is like kind of the, I don't know if that's real or not, but it feels really ironic that it happened right before,
Well, I feel like you can also look at relationships through a bunch of lenses. Sometimes I go accidentally negative and I have to remind myself, don't manifest that. Like, you don't want to do that.
Yes.
And that's just your anxiety. But then sometimes, I mean, anything can go any way.
Yeah.
You can be like great with somebody and then things change. So,
Yeah.
So you do have a new song coming out called 17.
Yes.
And when does that come out?
That comes out tomorrow on my birthday.
Oh my gosh. I don't think this will be published by tomorrow on your birthday.
It's okay. They'll know now.
Okay. So we'll edit this to say your new song 17 just came out.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Everyone knows everything's recorded beforehand.
Yeah. I wish my turnaround time was that quick. But yeah, so tell me about that song. What inspired that song?
I wrote that song with Christy Huff. And she was about to actually get married.
Okay.
And I had this idea, in my dreams, you'll always be 17. And we had written it that way. Then when I went to go cut it, I was like, sounds a little too romantic. So it's, to me, you'll always be 17 now. And it's about a mother on their daughter's wedding day and the journey to get there. And although I'm not engaged and have no plans of getting married anytime soon, it was just so cool to be able to write a song from a mother's perspective because my mom is definitely the person I'm the closest with. And there's so many moments on a wedding day for a father and a daughter, but there's no dedicated moments to a mom and a daughter. And obviously the mom usually gets ready with you and there's a moment of the bride dress and all that stuff. But there's no moments to put the mom on display when your mother has, if as a woman, like even as a man, your mother has had so much, and she literally pushed you out.
Yeah.
And, why does dad get all the credit? And where my dad left when I was 5 and, is not a great human, but so he probably won't be involved in much of the wedding stuff for me when that time comes. But my mom will be standing by me the whole time. And I wanted to give moms a moment for that. And it actually, Christy got married that year and her mom was sick with cancer and died before her wedding. And so it's so meaningful in so many ways of just like how important the relationship between a mother and daughter are.
Yeah.
And we all bicker with our moms. Yeah. But that's the great thing is we can bicker and then be like, okay, mom, I love you. And maybe you were right about this, but you're wrong about everything else.
Oh my God. I have a song about fighting with my mom basically, but I mean, especially I feel for people that don't have a close relationship with their either parent, but with their mom, like especially on TikTok, like I'll see a lot of people sharing that, and that's really tough.
It's so tough. I'm so glad that I have a great relationship with my mom, and yes, we bicker, and yes, she'll call me. I'll be like, okay, mom, because my mom's one of those people like, I have this idea for your music career. I'm like, okay, if it was that easy, I'll just call Taylor Swift and open for her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's too good. I mean. It's a mix of, like, for me, my mom getting equally as frustrated with the music industry and then being my biggest supporter. And, like, it's just funny. My one friend, Sarah, is a comedian who I told you, like, performed at Zanies. She was doing this, posting these things about how her dad will recommend career options for her that are not music. And like, I related to that so hard the other day because my mom called me and she's like, you could work at a garden center. And I'm like, what
Depot,
on
here I
earth?
come.
She's like, I think that you would like this garden center. I was like, Mom, what are you talking about? It's just, that's how parents are. That's how
They like to tell you of your fleeting thought. My mom now
Yeah.
calls it her shower thought. She's like, I had a shower thought today.
Yeah.
Just hear me out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll hear you out, but
A shower thought. I know. I used to get offended by everything. But now I just think it's funny.
I think as we get older, we get a thicker skin where it's like, okay, I know you mean well.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you, I'll entertain your thought, but that's about all. Like,
Yeah. It's kind of like if someone says anything to me, I would take it as truth and really lean into it. And I realized, oh, I don't have to do that.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, okay. So that's so cool. So that song just came out. And are you playing any shows in town or out of town lately?
I am.
Okay.
I am playing at the Basement for the first time on
Oh my gosh.
June 28th. My buddy Garrett has his album release party, and I'm playing with him. And the last time that we
Fun.
played together, we played at Five Spot like 2 years ago, and it was so wonderful. So we decided to do like a repeat of it. And him and I write together. We wrote probably my favorite song I've ever written together, and I released that 2 years or not this past December, but the December before that. And it's just cool to have friends that you are friends with, you create art with, and we fit. We're two totally different kinds of music, but we fit on the same bill somehow. And I think that's what's also so great about country is like there's so many different little lanes of it, but it can all go together, you know?
Yeah, there's a million sub-genres of the genre.
And I don't really play in town very much. I mostly tour.
Okay.
And so I'll be playing in Switzerland in July. I'll be doing a show in Ohio in July. I'll be doing a whole 6-week European tour in September and
Amazing.
October.
Okay, wait. So tell me about that. So how are you booking gigs in Europe and Switzerland and everywhere?
I credit everything to social media. People that are just like, I love playing music, but I hate social media. It's like, well, so do I. But it's afforded me my whole life, and it changed my life. That song post that we touched on earlier. In 2022, I was a really late adapter of TikTok, and I got on TikTok, and in about 2 months of trying all the trends and doing the like, get ready with me and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nobody wants to see someone that's 30 doing that stuff. They want to see little 20-something-year-olds doing that stuff. And I finally put my song Ghost on there, and the first time I posted it, it got 60,000 views. And I was like, everything else was getting like 200. Yeah. And it, I immediately got to like 40,000 followers, and I was like, this is crazy. Then posted it again, and it got 100,000, then 200,000, then 500,000. Then every video I posted of it would get around 1 million. And
oh my gosh.
It was like, oh, wow. I'm not these other girls. That's their lane. I need to stay in my lane. And my lane is music, and my lane is my songs. I'm not very good at storytelling. I'm not very good at I've done the same makeup routine for 10 years. I'm not,
So you were doing varied content, like Get Ready With Me, kind of the creator.
And, whatever the thing that TikTok said do that week is what I would try for like 3 months. Yeah. And it did only take 3 months for me to finally like dig through, because back in that time, we were still on the Instagram thing of like photos. So I didn't have a lot of videos of my music.
I know.
And I had to like dig through, and I found a music video that I did in 2019 before lockdown that I didn't even really finish. And I just started posting clips of it, and that's what popped off. And then I worked with Country Rebel quite a bit back in the day, and I had some acoustic videos that I literally just screen recorded off of YouTube and posted. And those are what really blew up. Was I realized people just wanted to hear me sing. Yeah. I needed to just shut up and sing. Which
I have that internal conversation all the time where I'm like, why did I just post that? And I even with stuff I did a week ago, I'm like, you're a singer. Why are you posting like what I eat in a day or whatever? And I think because I see how the creator model for socials can also work for an artist. And I like to do varied stuff. That's why I have a podcast. Like, I like to do everything, but then I laugh at myself because I'm like, just sing. Like, what are you doing?
And I think that there is something to be said about, like, if you are good at talking, if you are good at that, then, like, that's what's going to be interesting. Yeah. But, because, like, I had a girlfriend that she popped off on TikTok and she's one of the best singers in all of Nashville. And what popped off on TikTok for her was not music. It was her get ready with me to go play a gig on Broadway.
How
And
funny.
so I did
Okay.
copy her for a minute and it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I couldn't tell you why it worked for her and not for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started posting her music and it didn't get as many hits as her stuff. And so it's just like everyone is,
Interesting.
but she, and I would 100% say she's a better singer than me and whatever. But for some reason, my stuff doesn't do well if it's my, you know, and I think I dress cute, but it doesn't, it just doesn't connect with my audience the way that my music does. And so I'm just going to keep doing me and everybody should just do them.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's all a part of building the world visually, I guess. If you want to try different stuff, that's how I frame it to myself. I'm like, if you want to do an outfit of the day, do it. But make sure the main thing comes back to the music if that's what you want to do.
If that's
I think, yeah,
exactly. Because now that I am bigger on TikTok, people do want to see a day in the life and want to see. And I have so many things in my phone where I start filming them and never finish it. So I'm so bad at like the follow through with that kind of stuff. I'm like, I am not good at this. I'm good at music, and so that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So do you have any tips for social media for people, like in terms of music wise?
I wish that I did. I think it's all random. I think
do you do like an intro or do you just sing the song?
Both.
Okay.
I've done both ways. My hooks, I usually do have like a 5-second before the lyrics start, and I'll put a hook on the screen of something relatable. And you always want to talk to the audience and not make it about you. And so like my one that for Ghost that ended up working was, have you been in a relationship where you both know it's over, but neither person wants to leave? And that so many people have been in everyone has been in that relationship because you put so much time into something, it hurts to see it end, and you don't want to admit that it's over, even though you know in your heart of hearts that it's over. And so that's something so easy for people to connect with. But then my song Rooster, which is my second most popular song, it just starts with howdy, let's get rowdy at the beginning. And then it says, hi, I'm Sheyna G and this is your party song. And it's just like, that is nothing
that worked too.
Exciting. But, you know, you hear the howdy, let's get rowdy and you're like, what is this? You know, so and that has 11 seconds in between the howdy, let's get rowdy and the lyrics start. And people will stick around for that 11 seconds for some reason, which they tell you do like 3 to 5 seconds and get to the music. But nothing, there's no rules. It just sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You know, and so I wish that and in 2022, social media was just different. TikTok was still pushing people into the algorithm. I will say, even with my own page, where I used to grow about 10,000 a week, now it's like 1,000 every 2 weeks. And so
the growth is not the same.
The growth is just not, and I'm happy to just still be growing, but you're not going to have those viral moments unless you have something that's like, oh my God, at this point, you know, like I struggle to get a video hit 100,000 nowadays, where that used to be at least once a week, if not a million once a week. You know?
It is different.
Now Meta is pushing more. And so I never had very much success on Instagram and Facebook. And in the last 3 months, I've gained over 50,000 Facebook followers. And I'm not doing anything different.
What about Instagram? Because I just lose people on Instagram.
So I just saw a post right where we were getting. I've seen it for like 3 days that people are like, I just lost 200 Instagram
really?
followers. I don't know what happened. And I did go to my following and I did lose 200 too.
I lost 300.
I think they're clearing out the bots.
Oh.
And it's not even like bots. Like, I've never bought followers. Like, it's just inactive accounts, or there are tons, like I know on just for me, who I have 300,000 on TikTok. That's nothing to write home about. Like, you know, I have friends that have millions, you know, but I do get like, for just me, I get 10 fake me accounts every day.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like people trying to scam people. And I get people that are mad at me, that are my fans, that are like, you were talking to me on WhatsApp and you just stopped once I gave you money. I'm like, you didn't give me money. You gave some bot money. It's like, if you want to give me money, and this goes to everybody out there, if you want to give me money, my Venmo is in my link in bio. Don't be fooled by the bots. There's been scams for 20, 30 years. We know not to send money to strangers on the internet.
Well, I kept getting banned on TikTok because TikTok thought that I was impersonating someone named Emma White, and I finally just got verified, and I'm hoping that helps. You would think.
I've had my stuff flagged because it's unoriginal account music or unoriginal content, and I'm like, It's my song. It's my face. I filmed it on a professional camera.
Yeah.
This is not ripped off of
Yeah.
anything. So it's all an AI algorithm.
Yeah.
The computers don't know.
So do you film yourself the most, or do you have other people film you?
No, I do not do my own.
Okay.
I have a professional content day at least once a month, if not twice a month. And
So smart.
I do know this. The algorithm on all of the things rewards you if you film with a professional camera.
Yeah.
And like I said, that the rules are not hard and fast because you see videos pop off of people just on their phone doing, this.
Yeah.
So rules are not hard and fast. But for me, quality content goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I've just learned that because I tried to have a girl that would just follow me with a cell phone for about a year, and my numbers just did not do the same as when I have someone film with a professional camera and I edit and put the lyrics and do all I do all the editing, but she does all the filming, and it's just night and day how different the interactions are for me.
Yeah.
And
no, I think that's true, especially for Instagram. I'm shocked with what I can get away with on TikTok, but for Instagram, I just think that more polished look it helps you in the long run.
And just think about ourselves because you have to look at it from I don't want to say consumer, but from the
fan, the listener. Yeah.
From the person that's consuming the content. When you're scrolling and you just see, something filmed on you're going to keep scrolling, but if you see something fresh, you're like, what's this?
Yeah.
And you might not do it consciously, but your eye is attracted to the clean, crisp video. And we all like to look at something that's aesthetically pleasing.
Totally. Yeah. It's just another avenue of creativity.
Yeah.
You're inspiring me right now. Thanks for the tips.
It costs money to do it, but I just think if the return is there, it's worth it. And you're
100%.
not probably going to make that money back, but if you can make it in fans,
totally.
It's, you got to decide where it's worth putting money in your career because it takes money to make money, baby.
I love that. Yeah. There was a time where I was spending so much on each individual shoot that it just felt like, how the heck could I keep doing this? And I make content all day long. I have all these cameras, but people are like, well, why can't you figure it out? I'm like, I can't film myself walking down the street. I mean, maybe there will be robots at some point that can.
Right.
But
I have what is it called? One of the drone things, and I haven't even taken it out of the box because I'm like, it would be easy if I could just remote and film myself. But
I know, just holding the,
But
that's just next level of DIY. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's so impressive what you've accomplished and built yourself. So do you have a label, or are you totally indie?
I am totally indie.
And her publicist reached out to me.
Yes.
Which was exciting to me because I'm like, that's the first publicist that's reached out to me to be on here. So thank you.
Yeah.
Carissa and Trevor.
Carissa and Trevor. And Natalie.
But that's cool too that you have publicity and you're doing it yourself.
I'm doing it all myself. Yeah. That Perk is my only team member.
And you're a content person, I guess.
Yeah. And Oceana, if anyone go get content from her, I've already referred 5 people.
Oh my gosh, I'll check her out.
So,
yeah.
She's amazing.
That's so cool. I love that. You're kind of my aspiration, to be able to have a couple people that I can hire,
Yeah. And it's just we can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And once you have built it, that's when the labels come knocking, and then it's do I really even need a label? I don't know.
I know. I'm very into owning it. I love that. Yeah.
I love it. If I had a label when Ghost popped off, they would have gotten all the stuff and I would have had to give them the 10% for each show and whatever. But I've been doing it myself and it's all worked so far.
Yeah.
Not to say I wouldn't take a label deal. I'll take a label deal if there's
By the way, she'll take a label.
If there's a number out there that fits, that it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So cool. I just saw Parker McCullum, a clip of him.
The $1 million. The
$1 million thing. Yeah. Are they feeding us the same stuff? They are.
We're in Nashville. They're going to give us all the country
That's so
tea.
weird. I mean, that's weird that we would see the same thing. I saw it yesterday and it was just oh my God. They knew we were hanging out. Yeah. He was saying that someone offered him $1 million to not sign with Universal and he turned them down.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what I would do.
Honestly, I had a situation where someone offered me quite a significant amount of money and I turned it down. And my dad was like, I called him. I'm like, I'm crazy. And he's like, you are. Like, what are you doing? But I didn't feel comfortable with it.
I did take an investor in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I ended up posting on TikTok, because they were pushing me to post so that we would have some marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was great, because it pushed me in a direction I would not have gone.
Mm-hmm.
But also musically, it pushed me in a direction I would not have gone. And I don't regret it, because I don't regret anything. And I know I have fans that those are some of their favorite songs.
Yeah.
But everyone looks at me and they're like, you're a rock singer. And so that project definitely leans way more rock than I was comfortable with. But at the time, I felt so burnt out, and I felt like I wasn't making the right decisions. Even though if I would have stayed in my lane, I don't know if I would have been further at this point, because everything that was popping off was perfectly country, and this went really rock. And so the music didn't really move the needle in any way, but it did push me to step outside of my comfort zone and post on social media.
So did the investor have something to do with the rock vibe?
They had seen me first perform on Broadway.
Okay.
And I definitely put on a really big rock show on Broadway. Not to say I don't play country down there, but it does get to a point where it's mostly rock, and it does get the crowd super into it and whatever. And I had this batch of songs that would work as rock.
And you can always weave that in. Like, and that's what makes country great, is you can weave different stuff
and
in.
it is part of my past. I was always in rock bands growing up and whatever. And so I felt like it was still being authentic to me. It just wasn't what I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, maybe I'm wrong. And maybe I haven't had the big moment that I should have, because I should be doing rock.
Mm-hmm.
And so that wasn't supposed to be an EP. We actually messed up a little bit. We were doing like a waterfall release, and I didn't understand what a waterfall release was at the time. So I have an EP called Angela, which I never would have like named an EP Angela, because that was the last song that came out. But
that's kind of cool.
It worked out so funny. And that song I had written by myself about the first guy that really broke my heart.
Okay.
And the reason we called it Angela is because it was supposed to be, I wanted to say you stupid fuck, and that wouldn't be eloquent. So I changed the name to Angela, and it was great, because there's people on the internet that are like, if this song's about a boy, why is it Angela? It's like, it's creative liberties.
I kind of love that. That makes it more fun.
Yeah.
I think like back to the investor thing, I think you don't realize, no matter what your deal says, if someone gives you money, there's always strings attached. It doesn't matter. Like, and it also doesn't matter what you're in. My experience, you think like the deal, everything in there is going to be followed by the law. But at the end of the day, the person that controls the money has the control.
Yeah, I was very lucky, and he didn't force me to do anything. He just said what he wanted. Yeah. And I listened. Yeah. So I could have pushed back, and I could have been like, and I thought that's what I wanted at the time.
Well, and I think sometimes if things aren't working exactly how you want, it's like, you're like, okay, I'll take some feedback. I'll do something different.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's not a bad thing, because then you try it and then you move on.
That's exactly what the next project that I did. I was just like, okay, did that. Yeah. I'm a fail fast person. Yeah. I don't know if where it's just like, okay, I did this. I did it wrong. I'm not going to linger in it. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to go back onto the track that I'm going to, continue doing. So after that, I just told myself, I am going to have my hands fully into every creative project that I do from here on out. Yeah. And I ended up producing my last EP fully myself, and I wrote every single song.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this. Yeah. So that's incredible, first of all. So are you how did you do this? How did you learn all of this? And just walk me through that.
When I say produce, I did not push the buttons. I had an engineer. Okay. And so I had an engineer, and I got with the engineer, and we just worked on the songs, and I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew what I wanted to hear. Yep. I knew, because I had worked with a quote unquote producer on the last 7 songs that I had released the 2 years before, just throughout, how you just release every 6 to 8 weeks or whatever. And I felt like he was an engineer and not a producer. I was just like, I cannot engineer. Mm-hmm. I've tried to learn. Yeah. Pushing the buttons frustrates me. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm just going to hire an engineer, and I'm going to tell them exactly what I want. I love that. And since the songs were written by me, there was no input. There was no person saying oh, you should do this. You should do this. You should do this. So I just did what I felt was right in my heart. And these songs are such a representation of my brain.
Mhm.
So it's just like, it felt natural.
Yeah. Yeah. I think sometimes, I mean, sometimes you do wonder when you're working with producers, you're like, wait, was that an engineer or was that a producer? And sometimes a producer, it's like, this song would not be here without this producer.
Yes.
And it's, credit,
I think
give credit where it's due.
Very small percentage of producers are actually producers in this town.
Interesting.
That's just my opinion working with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've never worked with a producer that's brought my music from where I have it to another level. And I would love to work with a producer that has that creative input.
Mhm.
But mostly every producer that I've worked with
Mhm.
has just recorded what I said to record. And it's
Mhm.
like, those were all my ideas,
Yeah.
Like there are certain songs that I work with the husband wife team at Studio 45B a lot.
Mm.
And there are certain songs that Grady has definitely elevated. And I was like, I would never have thought of that.
Grady Saxon?
No, Grady Smith. It's funny. They're the same and they moved here at the same time. And there's
funny.
the two.
Okay. Yeah.
But he plays every instrument on the projects.
Mhm.
He plays drums, bass, guitar,
Mhm.
piano, like everything. And there are things that I'm like, I wouldn't have thought of that. But I knew for this project,
Yeah.
I specifically knew exactly what I wanted. I didn't really want input
Yeah.
on it. There was one song that he did get co-producer credit on because I brought in two different demos that sounded very, very different from each other.
Mhm.
And I had really been staunch on like wanting to lean one way or another. And he's like, no, like we need to combine these two ideas. And like you can hear it in the song. It's very much like traditional country, little hits of like rock where it's just like gets heavier.
Yeah, I think sometimes working with producers and even co-writers, that they're going to bring something huge that changes it for the better. And so I always try to finish things by myself. And I'm like, no, you need somebody. Like this does not, you're not cutting it. Like your lyrics suck. Like I had that with a song yesterday. I'm like, God, I want to finish this by myself. But like your lyrics suck. And
you get in your own brain where you've listened to it so many times you can't think of it any other way.
Yeah.
Bringing another person into the room it's like,
Yeah.
oh, aha.
Yeah.
That was the thing it was missing.
Yeah.
That's something I think is so unique to Nashville.
Yeah.
That like other places in the world, now people are starting to co-write in LA and whatever. But like when I lived in LA, it was just you write with yourself or your band.
Yeah.
But it's so unique to Nashville of just like collaboration.
Yes.
And you do need that. Like I've been in writes where I'm like, I would have never thought of that line.
100%.
And it's like, but that's the right line. Or someone's just spitting stuff out and it's not great, but it gets you to the line where you're like, oh, I wouldn't have even gone there with that word.
Totally.
And it's just like, just having other energies in the room is
because your brain is going in the same direction most of the time and someone else is totally in a different direction. And so it's because I always try to push myself to finish it yourself. And then I'm like, oh God, just ask somebody for help.
I love co-writing so much. It's so, I do it as much as I can because it's just like, learning how other people work also is so cool. And I love the people that have never co-written will never get this, but like the first hour where it's like, hi, we just met. Here is my deepest, darkest secrets and everything that has ever happened to me in my entire life. And it's just like, it seems so personal, but for us, it's like business. It's just like, you have to know me to write for me.
It is the only scenario where you like within 5 minutes of meeting someone, they'll like learn way too much about you.
Everything.
Yeah. I almost feel like we should have like warm up. There should be like a warm up, like do a podcast and then write a song.
Right?
Like you really get to know each other. That's actually not a bad idea.
My yesterday, we had 2 hours of shooting the shit before we even got started.
And that happens.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's very normal.
It is.
Well, gosh, I feel like we just had a convo and I'm like, I don't even know. Was there anything else I had to ask you? I'm going to ask you other things, but I'm just thinking is there anything that I'm missing here? It just flowed.
It just flowed.
Okay. So we were talking about dating in our little pre-chat.
Yes.
Dating in your 30s. We're basically the same age.
Yes. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone.
24.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so should we not tell people?
No. It's fine.
Okay.
No one knows my actual age, and I like it that way.
Okay, but if they watch this podcast,
they'll know I'm in my 30s. It's fine.
Okay.
You can tell by looking at me. Come on, like when I go out, people are always trying to be flattering and be like, "I would have never guessed over 26." Blah blah. I'm like,
oh, I take it, and I'm like, tell me whatever you want,
Tell me
and I'm
whatever
gonna
you want.
believe you. I'm just card me. I
Thank
love
the
it.
Lord for Botox.
And when I was younger, I always hated that people said I looked younger when I was younger because I was the shortest kid and the latest bloomer. And so now I'm like, maybe this could work in my favor. I don't know.
I've never had that. I had a fake ID at 16 and everyone always thought I was older. I
Oh
look
my
at pictures
gosh.
now back and I'm like, I looked like a child. But
Yeah, at the
I
time.
took it at, back then.
Oh my
And
gosh. Yeah, I had the opposite problem. But so yeah, okay, so dating. So you've been here for 10 years. You've been in serious relationships here, or at least one.
two
Two.
very serious relationships, a 4-year and a 6-year.
So but you're single now. Are you like on apps or
So 6 weeks ago,
Mhm.
my 6-year relationship, he left me in Texas in the middle of the night. Flew
That's
home.
a song.
Yes, and it will be a song. Everything I write, everything that happens to me, I write in a song because my life is literally a country song. But he had broken up with me once before.
Okay, wait, can I just interject?
Yeah.
My life is a country song is this. That
It's
should
on
be
my
the
EP.
Oh, it already is?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the song.
yeah.
So you've already written
Yeah.
it. Amazing.
I've been good and I've been wrong. Lived life like a country song.
Oh my
Fell
gosh.
and landed on my knees where I begged the Lord for mercy.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
But he had dumped me once before, and I was like, I'm not gonna date. I'm gonna find myself, and blah blah blah. Well, me finding myself last year was just because I wasn't dating. I went right back to him as soon as he asked.
Yeah.
And he's always the one that leaves me, and always the one that begs for me back. And I this time was just like, I need to date if this relationship needs to be over. It's been 6 years. You know who somebody is after 6 years. I was madly in love with him and thought he was my person. And he always wanted me to do something different and kept moving the goalpost. When I'd accomplish something, he'd move the goalpost a different way. And I want someone who wants me for me. I did just get on one app.
Okay.
It's been interesting, and everyone knows I'm kind of like that. I'm very upfront with people that I just got out of a relationship, and
Yeah.
I'm not stopping myself from letting something happen.
Yeah.
But I'm also trying to find somebody who's okay with me as I am.
Yeah.
And meet me where I am, and I'm not a project. I have
Right.
nothing. I have a great career. I'm very happy with my life, and I want somebody that wants to travel with me when I get to go on all these cool shows. I want somebody that wants to go to the events with me, that wants to be part of my life. And I'm a big outdoors person. So like go on hikes with me and do that kind of stuff, but be okay if, hey, I went to an industry event last night. I got a little drunk. I'm going to sleep until noon today, which isn't my normal. I usually wake up at 7, go for my morning walk, do a workout, whatever. But there's days when I don't feel like doing that.
And so he would critique that.
Yes. And it's just like, it's very hard for especially men to be with somebody who has a life and is happy with that life and has passion. And I've always experienced that, where the thing that they fall in love with me over is my passion, but then it becomes the thing they leave me for.
You are speaking my language right now.
They can't handle it. And because most women our age are ready to settle down and have kids. And that's just never been on my radar. I don't want kids. And I have nieces and nephews that I absolutely adore. And I adored my ex's nephews and their family. And I love family life. I'm very close with my family. That's not the route I'm taking.
Yeah.
In my
Gosh, it's so refreshing to hear your point of view, because it's not one you hear all the time.
Yeah.
I go back and no, but I always said I don't want to get married, but things have changed for me where I do want more traditional things than I realized, but I go back and forth. I think I've been guilty of not treating other people like a project, but I think because I've built resilience for the music industry, I sort of think, oh, I can make it work with anybody. And like, we can make this work.
And we're naturally charismatic. So it feels like you get along with everybody.
Yeah.
It's like this, I love love. I love so many people.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, oh, but confusing love of like as a person, as and romantic is so, because my 4-year relationship, we were amazing friends and we should have just stayed friends, because even now that we've broken up, like we get along and we could go grab a drink and it's not romantic.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed a partner at the time, and he was a great partner. But I looked at myself one day and was like, this isn't the person that I want. But
Yeah.
I've always wanted marriage. I just don't want kids. And that's also hard for people to understand. And it's like, why? It's like, I want someone that wants to be with me forever.
Yeah.
And that piece of paper really helps that to be like, and I want someone that wants to go on the adventures with me and not just be a stay-at-home fuddy-duddy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I don't know. It's dating is hard, especially I think the older you get, it gets a little bit trickier to find people because you're looking for someone really specific. Not that it's impossible, but I was texting my friend last night. I'm on Raya, and are you on Raya?
I am not.
Do you want to be?
I had signed up and then saw it cost money, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, but I also don't.
It's a little bit. I don't want to. It's a mix of things.
Okay.
You match with people that are in similar creative fields, which is great.
Yes,
because you've already narrowed your search to not, the greater Tennessee area. It's actually like bigger than that, but it's people who might have things in common with you, which I really like about it. But then people match and they just never talk to each other. And it just is like, I was texting my friend. It's like, if you already know people, then it's kind of a fun icebreaker to be like, oh yeah, I think you're cute. And then you talk. But if you don't know people and they live in a different state, nobody really talks to each other.
That's great. See, I'm on Hinge, and which gets so much hate.
I like Hinge.
Yeah, but I did meet my 6th year off of Hinge.
I have met people, yeah.
Like, I am a person that gets out of the chat immediately, but because I'm so fresh, I can't date multiple people at a time.
I know.
So
do you get hung up immediately?
Well, no, I'll hey, I'm going on a date. If it's good, I'll go on a second date.
Yeah.
Date, as soon as I know it's done, and I'll move on to the next person in line. But people get frustrated that I don't respond for like 2 weeks, and it's like, hey, I didn't want to have multiple people at one time, and I'm like, I'm a one-man woman, and I can't date around and feel good about it. Like, I like to focus on a person, see if it's a good match, and then go on to the next person, because I'm just like, that is a way I'm a little bit traditional. It's like, it feels icky. Like,
I feel the same way. I had 2 things happen that are kind of total opposites, but this one guy, I didn't respond for 2 weeks, and he was like, are you always this busy? Is this going to be a problem? I freaking blocked him.
I had the same thing.
And I'm like, this guy's already doing this kind of controlling behavior with just one line. I'm like, you're out. And I felt like, oh God, I don't want to hurt his feelings. But then I'm like, no, I have no patience for
and you
that.
Haven't met yet. Might as well get him. Because
I know.
I had a guy that I got the app after my relationship, and I got it kind of on a spur.
Yeah.
And then I had all these people match with me, and then got to like where you can't really match with people. So I was like, I'll start the conversation. Well, then I went on a date, knew that date wasn't good. So I went back to the people and like responded a few days later.
Yeah.
And he's like, 4 days, I'm dating intentionally. This isn't going to, work for me. And so, I just unmatched with him. I was like, this is not thank you for weeding yourself out of that.
And I think people, again, like, you have to go back. Don't catastrophize the situation, or don't manifest a negative thing that's not even happening. Yes. And I feel like people do that, and then they come off desperate, and then you aren't interested in them.
Exactly. And I've had my account on pause pretty much since, whatever. And there's hundreds of people in the queue that I need to like go through, but I'm like, I'm not there right now. Like now I was busy the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't have time for a dude and I am busy.
Yeah.
So you can either fit into my life or move along. Like that's, and
there was one guy that I was really excited to match with, and I every day I check, I'm like, has he messaged me? Has he messaged? And like, now I'm like, I'm going to come off like the desperate chick. But so anyway, he still hasn't responded. We could check right now. But
it's very interesting dating, especially at this age too, where it's like, you do look in the middle. And so when I go out in the wild, a lot of people in their 20s hitting on me, and I'm just like, I'm a little bit too old for you. And they're like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's, whatever. And so the young men have been a little bit more fun, honestly.
Oh my gosh. See, I feel like their mother. And so I'm like,
I did until I dated one, and I was like, okay, this isn't, and they get you flowers and
Aw.
open the door and do
Yeah.
all the traditional things because they feel like they need to impress you because you're,
And they're not set in their ways yet.
yes. And everyone in their 30s, like especially late 30s, has kids from a previous relationship, has a divorce under their belt, has, and
That's true.
I don't have those things. So it's like, I don't bring that baggage into a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe it's not so bad. Especially
People I match with, I'm like, okay, I could be a stepmom. Like, maybe.
I can be a
Like,
stepmom if their kids are over like 10. I'm not raising no
know.
babies. I'm sorry. I don't want to raise my own. I'm not raising somebody else's babies. But if they're, if they have a nanny and they have older kids, like I could deal with that as long as, it doesn't.
I don't want to be referred to as stepmom. The step thing. Just call me something
And I'm at
else.
the point now where we're only dating until I'm engaged because I did the whole girlfriend boyfriend thing. And I did that 3 times and I still never got a ring. And
Wait, so because I have discussed strategy with my sister, she's not interested in, like, I'm so hung up on like who's my husband and where is he, but she's like, some girls, they have a strategy and they go in knowing how to play this game, and I'm like, I'm not one of those girls. Like,
I don't play games for sure.
Not a game, but like you're saying, like you've learned.
This is my first time that I've really looked in the mirror and been like, I just dated a man who promised marriage for 6 years and kept moving the goalpost.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived with him and I did that thing. I've lived with 3 different men and it didn't work out. I'm not moving in with somebody. I'm not calling. We're exclusive now. Like within a year, if you want to marry someone or not.
Yeah.
If we are dating for that time and you don't want to marry me, let me move on.
Yeah.
Like, because I will find somebody that will want to marry me.
Right.
It's not going to be through, this is my girlfriend. This is my, that's high school shit.
Yeah.
I'm not in high school. I'm not in college.
Yeah. So would you not live with someone again?
I would not live with someone until I was engaged. Because in my long relationships, that kept us together longer than it should have.
Right.
Because it's like,
well, even divorced people end up living together for a bit.
It's
like,
you have to go with the first time that me and my ex broke up, I had to live with him for another month because I had to find a place.
Mm-hmm.
And he was cool with it. We were both very amicable and we were just acted normal for that month.
Yeah.
And then moved out. But it's just like, no, I love my place downtown. I love my high-rise building that I live in and I look over. I don't need a man for that.
Yeah.
It's like once we are engaged, we will have, and that's the trial period.
Yeah.
It's when we're engaged and there's an intention of marriage and there's an intention of cohabitating. And if we move in but I would say after a year, you've had enough sleepovers, you know how somebody lives. Yeah. I don't need to test it out.
Yeah. I always tell this guy that I keep kind of circling back to in my life. I'm like, what's going on here? But I always tell him, I'm like, I'm just going to move in across the street and we can like
decide.
Yeah.
I think a duplex situation for a husband and wife might be a good idea though. You guys can still have sleepovers, but still like, I love Pink and I love Girly and I love,
whoever's going to sleep next to me, it's like, you either need to be still and completely silent or I need my own bed because I can't.
I do love sharing a bed. I'm such a like cuddly whatever.
That's
but
sweet.
I sleep like a Disney princess and I sleep when I fall asleep, I go to sleep.
Same.
And whatever. And
Same.
whatever. And if somebody snores, if somebody, it's like, okay. And I've been lucky that all the people that I've cohabitated with have been very good sleepers. So
I feel like every man snores though. No?
No. The 3 that I've been with don't.
Wow.
So
I need your luck.
Don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely had some snoring issues. Not me, but other people snoring, and I'm like, I'm always like, just stop snoring, like all night long.
My sister says that about her husband, and she kicks him into the guest room a lot because
I kick myself in the guest room. I'm like, I'll go. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We cuddled. Now I'm gonna go sleep in another room.
Yeah, yeah. And then they get upset. I'm like, why are you upset? You're waking me up.
Personal. It's I need to. And I am a girl that needs my beauty sleep for sure. Like I went out on Tuesday night and I barely slept because we tied one on for my birthday, but then last night I made up for it and I slept 11 and a half
Amazing
hours.
I got good sleep too. Wait, so okay, you have a song called King
Size Bed.
King Size Bed. So are you a king size bed person?
My bed at my apartment is a queen, but if I move in with a man, we're getting a king size.
Yeah, that's a
We have to have
big
all
rule.
of our dogs in the bed. Everyone has to fit. So I want it.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. Well, I think that's it for us. Is there anything else that you want to get to, or did we get everything?
No, it's all great.
Okay, amazing. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
That was so fun. I feel like I made a new friend.
Yes, we are. Yes, we have to go out.
In my